and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Perry from the Daily Reel live at the TCN Network Studios in Brampton. If you're tuning in today live, that means that you're either watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Thank you very much. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Before we kick things off here, I just wanted to give a big shout out to my dad. Zoom in on this. Nobody's manning the camera, but that's okay. That's okay. My dad and his friend Ken and Alyssa has just put out this book called The Black Horse Diaries. Pops, if you're watching, awesome book. I've gotten through the first few chapters here. It's basically about a gang of friends in a pub that all have, different stories. And, I grew up basically in and out of pubs, from the time I was legal drinking age. And you always meet some pretty crazy characters. So my dad has written a book. You can get it on Amazon.com or .ca. Get it on .com. You can get it in a couple of weeks. If you get it on .ca, for some reason it takes a month. I don't know. Anyways, but we are live here in Brampton. I'm with Fred and Gabriella from FredHelps Team, Milton's #1 real estate team, right?
Sometimes,
yeah. Milton's favorite real estate team. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks
I really appreciate it. We're talking about today, guys. We're talking about if you're struggling to grow your team, how you can grow your team, empowering your team through, team events. And we met last week, right, for lunch.
Yep, had some fun.
And you guys were on your way to somewhere I've always wanted to go to, because sometimes you get so enraged, and you just get so stressed out about the daily life, and you guys went to a rage room to express your rage. How was that?
Lots of fun. They just give you a bat and you smash glass stuff for an hour and you just go crazy in there, because sometimes we have stressful lives, don't we?
Yeah, do you have to wear eye protection?
Oh, the whole thing, yeah. Helmet, yeah.
Wait,
oh, yeah.
Did you guys use the GoPro like you were telling me?
No, we didn't do the GoPro. We got no video evidence.
That's a no-go on the GoPro.
Yeah.
No proof.
No proof. No, it never happened.
Okay, that's because we're all so happy and we don't need to be stressed out, right?
Yeah,
we don't need any proof
No,
of that.
exactly, that's right.
But thank you guys very much for joining me. Before we get into, when you started your team, how you started your team, Fred, I want to ask you just the same question I asked to open things up, get you guys, talking about yourself, and feel free to talk about yourself. This is what it's about. Where did you begin? Like, where did it start for you? What were you doing before real estate? Let's just go there.
I was in IT. I was a boring IT nerd, but on the side, I always dabbled a little bit in real estate.
Yeah.
Loved doing sales on the side, helping people sell their houses just for fun, because I enjoyed it. And I did have my own IT business.
Okay.
So you go to the store, they sell you a computer, and they sell you this big thing that you don't need. $1,500 to do your Word and your email. And that always bothered me. So I started my own IT business where I could consult, help people out, and then build them computers that actually were affordable. Save them money so they weren't overspending on something they didn't need. I always liked helping people that way. And
well, that's where the helps come.
There you go. Yeah, it's real. Yeah. And that's where it started. And then as my real estate career took over from my IT career, I always wanted to help people not get overcharged for stuff, get good value for their service. And it's just really important to me. There's a lot of negativity around our industry, and we want to bring some positivity to that.
There is. You know what? And I was talking, I had a conversation with the AREA people. They gave me a call last week, and they're asking, what do you think we can do better? I'm like, you know what? I think number one is we need to it starts on the ground level, starts with the realtors,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's because there is, somewhat of a perception of what realtors do and how they service their clients. And I'm glad I'm seeing people like you and your team that come out and you want to be transparent and you provide the best service that you possibly can. So Gabriella, on to you. How did you get started in the industry? What were you doing before?
Well,
How long have you been in the business? 7 years.
it's been about 7 years.
Okay.
I got licensed at a very young age. I finished up high school and I kind of got licensed immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this since. I'm 28 years old now. I'll be 29 next month. Or sorry, December. 30 next year. So I feel
Pretty
like
close.
I've had quite a bit
Catching
of
up.
yeah, I have a lot of experience with this. It's coming up to 10 years soon, which is mind-boggling. So I got licensed. I joined with Fred. I've been with Fred since.
Wow.
She has the most energy out of all of us, so that's good. We need some youthfulness on the team.
Yeah.
So,
You have somebody else. When you say all of us, you have somebody else.
Mike's here in studio. Mike,
Somebody,
say hey.
Somebody here.
That would be me.
He'll be on
Tate.
later.
Yeah, come on.
coming
Wave.
on.
Give it. Wave your hand there.
We'll have him on a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, we'll have him on a little bit later, but that's
Okay,
Michael
good.
Tate. Thanks. Okay, so you've been on Fred's team since the very beginning, like
Yes.
since the beginning of your
Yes.
career, anyhow. So
Yes.
that's crazy to think about because I don't really know any teams that have had somebody on as long as you. So obviously that speaks to your culture, I guess, within the team, which is great. So what for one, what 21, right?
21
So
yeah.
what goes through a 21-year-old's head that they want to start selling real estate?
Honestly, I've always been fascinated with homes. I always liked homes. I always was interested in style and all that kind of stuff. So when I met Fred, he had that same passion that I had. He staged, which is something that I think we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
So all of that really intrigued me, and that's kind of where I dived in, and the rest is sort of history at this
Okay.
point. Yeah.
And so, Fred, did you have how long have you had the team? 2010, right?
I've been licensed for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've had the team for probably almost 9 of those years. It's just
Yeah.
From the amount of workload, you need help. You can't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
At least I couldn't do it all myself. I needed to find good people. And luckily, she was one of the people we found early on. Mike came a couple years later.
Okay.
And the good people stick together. We're almost like a family.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that's
we
right.
argue like family
I
argues.
was gonna say we argue like family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
then
know
we
what?
keep
I got
going.
that sense from you guys when we had lunch last week. Not from the arguing part, of course. No, but you know what? Honestly, as somebody who tried the team out within his first year, thought I was, I let the ego take over and tried the team in the first year, failed miserably. So I know what it takes and what it definitely doesn't take. So for you to start a team that is still running and still successful and still have the same team members in your first year, that's amazing. So how did you walk us through when you decided you needed help with the team?
I was doing a lot of reading to figure it out. I didn't want to carve my own path completely and try to start from scratch.
Yeah.
A lot of books and online advice was talking about adding an assistant at the 20 to 25 deal mark.
Yeah.
And that was the first step. Get that right away. And then as the business grows naturally, you need to add a person on. And I didn't really follow the rules with respect to buyer agent first or anything like that you read out there. I just knew when I needed the help. I didn't want to kill myself. So the first person I added on probably around the 35 to 40 deal mark. And it wasn't a formal team that was created. It was, hey, we respect each other. I need your help. Do you want to come on this listing? Share the workload, see how it fits. And then if we keep going, then it just morphed into a team that way.
So come to the listing. Most people, when they start, they come on the showing, right? And they start with the buyers first. But it makes total sense because typically the listings are the most heaviest in terms of workload if you're thinking
Up
in
front.
terms of buyers and sellers, right?
You got it, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Sorry, proceed.
No, that's it. I just
was
added
it.
on work as it was required.
As it
So,
was required.
yeah, the business was doing really well. Added on a third person and a fourth person. And for the past 6 or so years, shortly after you came on, we've been at a level where the team size works. I don't have any plans of world domination. There are teams out there with 10 people, 15 people, 20 people and up. I like to maintain that connection with all of our clients, and it works really well for all of us because we're never working alone on something. We never send somebody out to do everything themselves.
That's great.
It's a full team support that way.
That's good, and your clients obviously would feel, like they've been treated well, and especially they'll feel much more service when two rather than one person shows up to help sell their house, right? We're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, we're gonna talk to Fred and Gabriella what it takes to continuously run a successful team.
Hello everyone, my name is Jermaine Chambers, and I'm very excited to tell you about the newest political and current affairs program coming here to Brampton. It's called On Point.
The first step of true reconciliation is learning more about one another.
Join us on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we discuss all the issues.
I will never forget the trust you put in me.
Municipal, provincial, federal, and any issue of national importance we will talk about on Point. So do join us.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
And we are back, guys. Thank you for joining us after that quick break. Just going to check in with Selena, our producer of the show. Can you hear me? Test 1. Yep. Okay, no problem. I'll talk a little louder.
Need this one? We good?
Oh, we're okay. We're okay.
All right.
So we're back with Gabriella and Fred from FredHelps. We were talking about how you guys got started, when you started the team, and it's important to know here, guys, that there's not within real estate teams, there's generally, and I mean that generally, of course, a higher turnover than your average probably sales team. I would assume so because there's certain reasons for people leaving, but it's really difficult is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys. So what does it take to continuously run a successful team? Obviously, it's keeping your clients happy, but you've got to keep your team happy as well. So walk us through, how you service your clients, and then we'll go into how you service your team members.
We have had some turnover, but it's just a credit to these guys here, how we all work so closely together and so well together. Yeah. And with these guys, we get the best feedback from our clients. So I think it really speaks to the level that these guys put in. So I have had turnover. It's not, everything hasn't happened magically, but yeah, I've been lucky with these guys for sure.
And so is this, where is this? Bomber approved?
Oh yeah, so we are lucky to be Milton's only Baumler approved real estate office. Brian Baumler has his, from HGTV, he has his approved contractors and service providers, so it's a little vetting process that they go through. And he held a barbecue for his appreciation of all the Baumler approved members a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some fun there, some games, met with some other contractors, and it was a good networking day too.
Great. And then what's that, I remember seeing this on Facebook. What's that Ferrari there?
That is not mine. We had a great day. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, no, we had a mortgage agent that we would work with quite often bring us out for an appreciation event. He rented some really nice exotic cars, McLaren, Lambo, Ferrari, Porsche, and the NSX. And we got to drive them around for about 3 hours on the country roads in Lincoln. So it was just an unreal experience. Yeah,
Gotta have some fun.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't get to drive with Fred. I thought I would, and I knew I would be comfortable driving with Fred because he is a very
slow driver. You can say slow driver?
He's a very slow driver.
Yes, I followed all the laws that day, 100%.
Yes,
yeah.
But I was in the car with the mortgage agent actually, and he I was holding on to like the the
That's what
handle
it's
the whole
for,
time.
yeah.
It was good. It was an amazing.
Yeah, so I think, obviously it's an investment that you put back into the business of the sort, right? You got to invest in your team members and, treat them well and have some fun at the whole time,
For
right?
sure.
So how important is it to find, to build that culture, build that family atmosphere with the team.
Yeah, you got to have fun. If it's not fun, it's just working every day, showing up 8 hours a day, and then evenings and weekends, and then you'll be at each other's throats. So you have to really enjoy what you do, and it works out well. Oh, I didn't communicate to you guys. I actually signed us up for Kathleen Black's Ultimate Team Summit coming up.
Okay, no
so
way.
We'll be talking about that and figuring out who's going on what day. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. You got to do stuff together as a team.
Great.
For sure.
Yeah. Kathleen Black was on the show, I think, 2 weeks ago. And we were kind of having the same conversation, but it was more in line with when to start a team. Because we were trying to, we didn't want to conflict with this show as well, because I think, obviously, what you guys are doing is amazing. So, yeah, how important is it to, so you're not only just doing fun things, but you're doing training and mentorship as well, right? Is that just the whole point of signing up for KBCC? Yeah,
you got to stay on top of things. Even with technology, having an IT past career, if you're a year behind, you're dead.
Yeah.
So Mike does a lot of training, and we can talk about that later maybe. On his own, just keeping up with the graphics tools and video and all that. We farm out some stuff, but we do a lot of it in-house. And if you don't stay on top of the tools, you're going to fall behind for sure.
Right, absolutely. Okay, and then so if you guys are going on a listing appointment, does everybody go? Is it split up?
It's myself and one of them, depending on which one gets assigned to the listing.
Yep.
And it will be myself and that person that carry the listing through to the end.
Right.
If we need help or support with an MLS buyer showing or something running behind, that third person will step in to help. Because it's a team, we all help each other.
Of course.
But yeah, it's myself and one person. We don't want to overwhelm the sellers.
Right,
Come in with a whole group.
People, the stagers show up right away.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just going to move this couch right now and sign the listing agreement.
We've done that once. We did move something during the listing appointment. We did. Yeah. That was
nice.
fun. Yeah.
So, I mean, you've brought up that staging is obviously a crazy important part of the transaction. So why don't you talk about that? Because you guys actually have your own.
We do. We have our own inventory, and we refresh it every year as the designs change and all that.
Which is the fun part. We get to go out. And
more fun.
We
get
some shopping carts, and we go nuts. I go nuts.
Yeah.
So what makes staging so important? Let's start there.
You can talk about the design stuff. I'll just mention that for us and our clients, a lot of them have a trust association that they've built up with us already that we're lucky to have. Just in case they haven't yet, if we've just gone for, with the cold lead, a random listing appointment, and we were lucky to get the listing, they don't have that inherent trust yet. When we show up with our stuff and get on ladders and have our tools with us to put up drapes and whatever else we're doing, that trust is now built. Because they see that, well, with these guys, they've already signed the papers, but they're working their butts off. They're doing what a lot of other people wouldn't do, and that's show up and spend 3 hours helping me get my house ready for market. So for me, it's about the trust, and they like seeing us actually work. You want to talk about the design side?
No, I mean, staging is a really great thing to do. I mean, you've done some staging as well. It really just changes the look of a home, and it really appeals to many buyers who are very emotional and get attached to that kind of look. And those buyers will tend to pay us a little bit more, which is great because when we're representing sellers, we obviously want to get our guys top dollar, right?
Yes, of course.
So it really, really appeals to those emotional buyers, and that's kind of what we aim for when we do staging, and that's why we do stage every single one of our listings, and it is extremely important and a very big part of our business.
There was one listing that I didn't stage, and it was my 90-year-old grandmother's house. You can't mess with that. A 50s bungalow.
Yeah.
It had its look. It had its feel.
Yeah.
There was nothing doing, but for the most part, almost every single place. Yeah.
I've been fortunate to have some really amazing sellers that have amazing taste in design, and sometimes you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, very true.
Because they've done an amazing job.
Yeah.
But it's true. But I think 90% of people are all buyers find their house online first, right?
First impression.
Or at least have seen it.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, if we're just
Aimlessly.
scrolling through our timelines or through Realtor.ca or through FredHelps.ca, right?
.com.
Yes. Perfect. I like
There you
that.
go. Now we know.
And you want to stop. You want to get some. You want to grab somebody's
Catch the
attention,
eye. Yeah.
right? And half of that has to do with staging. So I like how you guys are staying up on trends. So you're not just housing the same. Because could you imagine listing a house with the furniture from 10 years ago?
Yeah. No, not a chance.
Yeah?
Nope.
are from the 90s. The flower couches from the 70s.
They're back. Yeah, not
So
yet. No.
how do you stay on trends? Like what? How? I mean, because even you guys are out of the Milton, right? So
Yeah.
it might be a little bit different from the Niagara on the Lake market, right? So how do you choose popular furniture or things that you think are on trend?
How many
Pinterest?
design magazines do you follow? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Doing this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get the inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait for sales. Wait
I
for
like what you
sales.
said
Yeah.
before, because when we had lunch, you left this part out of when you were talking about. What did you have to do? You had a drill in your hand. You're like fixing something.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool because your sellers, like you said, they actually get to see you working on improving their house to pocket them more money.
There was one that had a leaky toilet, and it was leaking since the day they moved in.
Yeah.
And we walked upstairs a staging day, and we knew it was a distraction because it wasn't just drip, it was loud. So you walk past, and immediately a buyer's going to think, well, what's wrong with this place? And we always try to take the negatives away because you want them to concentrate on the positives.
Absolutely.
See all the ways they fall in love with the house. So yeah, we always have our tools with us in the car, in the truck, and that leaky toilet in 10 minutes was fixed. I went in there, tightened a few things, flapper valve was stuck, we fixed it, done. And they come home and the house looks great, but the first thing they said was, how did you get that toilet to shut up? And they just appreciated that we took the time. We're not plumbers at all, but we've got some construction skills and some trade skills that we can just help people out that way, and they just really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you always have YouTube too.
That's the way, yeah.
Totally know everything about this.
Done, fixed.
All right, well, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to invite our pal Michael up to, we want to get him on camera. I had lunch with this guy, and he's hilarious. So we'll check in just after this break.
World-famous spiritual astrologer and psychic Pandit Sai is born to serve people. He's an expert on palmistry and horoscope. He can handle all problems and give Vedic solutions for business, job, love, marriage, husband and wife problems, children, personal, and many others, including depression. He also performs pujas to clear all sorts of obstacles. Call Pandit Sai and see changes in your life now. 647-766-1419. Located at 2895 Derry Road, East Mississauga, Airport Road and Derry.
With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. The large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see that anymore is because
the ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
And we're back. Thanks very much for sticking with us. We are with the man of the hour, Michael Tait.
I've been here all along.
That's how I say your name, right? T-A-I-T?
Tait, the Scottish version.
Yes.
You're right.
Heat. All right, man. Listen, thanks for coming on. I wanted to ask an important question, and the reason why I wanted you on today is because, we want to understand, when did you start in real estate?
I started in 2010. Selling to the public, working with the public.
Okay, and then when did you join the FredHelps Team?
It was about 2015. We did a couple of deals when we're like separate.
Yeah.
And we've always had a mutual respect for each other. It's always been a great working relationship. So it made sense.
And you had real estate background too before that.
I started with an urban planning degree in university, and then I quickly made a leap into TerraNet.
Oh yeah.
The company that automated the land registry system.
That's right. Yeah.
So I worked selling legal services to lawyers across Canada for a number of years, and worked onto LexisNexis selling other legal services. So I've always kind of dabbled in real estate, just selling legal services. So I thought at one point it just made sense to get a glimpse from the other side and sell it directly to the public.
Do something fun.
Good. Yeah. Do something fun. So what is it that makes a team? What is it about Fred's team that was appealing enough for you to want to get involved? What makes a good team?
Like what Fred said earlier is that we don't have any plans of world domination or anything like that.
Yeah.
We both enjoy what we do. We're not. I don't want to say your typical real estate agent. Some people have a bad reputation for being like that kind of sell.
No.
We don't put on that kind of pressure to our clients, and that's what we both have going into this business.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So we've always got along, and it's just a great working relationship.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's it's kind of like the way you treat yourself is the way you kind of treat others.
Right.
And I think the way you treat your team is the way you treat your clients. And I think when your clients can see that and it's visible, I think that's what's one of the most important things.
Right.
So so it's just the 3 total sales teams, right?
Yeah, and we have Janet, who's our admin, and she's in the process of getting licensed, so she can help out with leases and open houses and showings from time to time.
Right.
She's fantastic. Shout out to Janet. She's watching right now. Yeah, we could not do this without her. She's the lifeline of the team for sure.
Absolutely. You need a strong admin and client care staff
Yeah.
for sure, hands down. So Fred, let's talk about this. We've got a lot of people that are watching this show or listening to it later on the SoundCloud or iTunes or whatever. They're either just about to start a team, or they are struggling to grow their team. They've hit a plateau. They're just a little confused about where to go next. So what kind of advice do you have for the other team leaders out there, or people that are thinking about starting their own team?
One piece of advice I would suggest is don't follow the script. Don't sign a contract with anybody until you really work with them. People might look good on paper, or you might be able to get along with somebody at the bar really well, but when it comes down to work methods, maybe you're just a little bit different and not compatible. So I would recommend to not create a contract up front. Maybe create a contract for one listing or for one buyer or for one client at a time. See how that works and see how your relationship develops. And if things are working well, then you can formalize it a little bit more. That's what I would suggest to be the number one thing. And that's why we're still here together. And those that have come and gone, it works well for a while. Sometimes it doesn't. But you really have to fill a hole in your team when you need that. If you just add people for the sake of adding people, it's not going to go anywhere.
No, absolutely. And I know that firsthand. That's exactly what I did.
I didn't know that.
No, that's exactly what I did. And, I did it for all the wrong reasons. So I think what we were talking about with Kathleen Black a couple of weeks ago was the importance of knowing what you want. So, as we talked about in the last segment, for you it was 40, 45 deals when you felt you were getting too busy, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
But for others, it might be 10 deals. It might be 11 deals. You have to get clear on what your end result is and why you want to start a team. So, Michael, I'm gonna go to you now.
Yeah.
What makes a team member want to stay with a team? Like, what's in the leadership role that you feel is important for a team member to stay?
I think there's 2 things that's important to both Gabrielle and I, and as well as Fred, is that you really have to enjoy working with the people that you're working with, because it's
well, that sounds like a cliche, but right?
Oh, it's true.
But I truly mean it. Like you really have to enjoy the time you spend with these people.
We're very close.
Because there's some days we see more of us than our own families. Right? And some days it gets quite busy. In the spring market, it's crazy busy. So you really have to enjoy the time that you spend with each other. But the second thing is that neither one of us we're not fed by greed.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of greed in the industry, but you know, customer service is so paramount. I think with all of us. We've both had like the gigs downtown where we're sitting on the GO train or stuck in traffic, getting down and back. Sometimes in the wintertime, it was 3 hours to get from downtown Toronto to Milton. You know, so there's you know, we've been there. Customer service in those jobs was so important. So that was kind of ingrained at such a younger part of my career, right?
Yeah.
20s,
Yeah.
30s.
I think we all value the flexibility that the team provides as well to each other. We all back each other up if we know there's a family situation that's required or something's going on. These guys know I coach basketball for the little kids.
Right.
So every Tuesday night is practice. I'm offline from 6:30 to 8, and then Sunday afternoon is games. So if there's open houses, I'll be doing Saturday ones. These guys will fill in the Sunday ones, and that's one of my main, you know, the what's your why? That's on my list right up there. And the flexibility, I think, is important for all of us that way, and we all understand and respect that. So we push each other to a limit. And sometimes we go over, but then we'll pull back because we know we each need that. You're laughing over there.
Well, so I mean, we've talked about empowering each other, you know, through team building exercises. You've done the supercars, you've done the rage room, the escape room, all in one day, which is crazy, but good for you guys. But what about accountability? I mean, how are you holding your team accountable to the task? It's great to have fun, right? But how do you hold people accountable?
Should I leave?
Yeah, maybe you should answer this question.
Where's the win?
Accountability is not really something that we have to talk about because it's, I don't know, it's just ingrained. We know that this is results driven, and when things are not getting results, we have to step it up. And that's, I think, why we're all still together, because that's not even a topic of conversation that has to come up. In terms of people that I've worked with a long, long time ago, for me, I'm not an in-your-face, I'm not a manager type. I'm a team player type, I think. I'm a jerk sometimes, but we're all a little jerky to each other when we have to be. That's the family, you know, that's the family talk.
Of course.
But for people that haven't worked out, you can have those accountability conversations. But if you're not meeting if they're not meeting their numbers, then we don't know what their why is, or they're not being driven. And you can lean them in one direction, but at some point, it's just not a good fit anymore. And like I said, this is not an issue with us here, so we don't even have to talk about that.
Well, I guess if you guys have been together for that long and, you know, still doing things together with such passion, I mean, you guys, when I met you guys last week, you all seemed so happy to be there. And
it was a day off. Let's keep my hands on the day.
So, I mean, obviously you hold, but even accountability can be anything. I mean, you guys have team meetings, right? I'm assuming?
We used to have weekly team meetings Monday morning, but the way the industry is, that doesn't happen all the time. So they're on the fly and, hey, conference room in 5 minutes, and we do it. Yeah, it's more informal now, but they happen quite often.
Well, I mean, because I think when you try to hold those team meetings, and if you do get busy and one person can't make it, and it's like, oh, well, why did that person show up? So I like that. You're kind of nipping that in the bud before that has a chance to get toxic. So we're going to take a little bit of an earlier break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk our last thoughts about, advice to continuously growing your team and empowering your team, and we're going to talk about, what they have planned for the future and stuff like that. So we'll talk to you soon.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
And we're back, guys. Thank you very much with Fred and Michael from FredHelps. What I was trying to segue into the next segment, and then you're like, where is our future going? Let's talk about this. I mean, what in terms of teams, how do you see that in terms of real estate's future? Do you think more and more teams are coming? Do you think that is a big part of the business?
Yeah, I think so. Work-life balance is a big deal.
Yeah.
Mental health issues are a big deal.
Huge.
I think that for a lot of people to succeed, they not that they can't do it on their own, but they don't want to do it on their own, nor should they.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want to do this on my own. Work-life balance is so important, and you want to make sure you're staying on top of that mental health thing, because you want to work your butt off and succeed, but you don't want to kill yourself in the process.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it's too much and the stress gets to you. So to have a good support structure around, whether you're a team lead, a team member, an admin, or whatever that is, if you have a good group of people that you can lean on, that makes this just so much more fun and so much easier to handle on a day-to-day basis.
I think what realtors kind of forget, well, maybe not anymore because of how many teams are popping up, but I think realtors, when they get into the business, I mean, even me, like I thought, like, okay, I know how to work a camera. I'm going to do all the camera work myself. I'm going to do all the photos. Then you realize very quickly that A, you're not good enough for that, hire a professional. B, you don't have the time to do all that.
Yeah.
So you really have to think about your real estate career as a business, right? What does a business have? Well, it has accounting, it has deals, it has team members, it has support staff, and you know, and the reason why is, for one, you can't do it all yourself, but two, what's your why?
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to think about what that is. Is it spending more time with your family? Is it, you know, doing more of your own hobbies that you love? Because we talk about this on the show a lot. You only have one life, and you gotta make it great. And spending your entire day running around with or like a chicken with its head cut off isn't very practical.
That's right.
So what do you think is, what's the future for FredHelps? What do you guys got in the pipeline? Is there anything?
Where are we going next? What are we doing next? We're actually moving our office we've had for 3 years at the corner of Derry and Thompson.
Yep.
And we're moving to a bigger facility where we can have all of our staging stuff on site.
Nice.
And we're going to be doing community events on site. So we're going to be lending out the space to organizations that maybe can't afford a rental for whatever, helping other people out. We want to bring that. Sometimes we get all caught up on the real estate, that the helping side is only real estate related. I want to bring that helping back in. So if we can loan our space to community organizations that need it, and that they can hold their own events there, for us it's a dual purpose for the space, which is great. We need the space for us, but when we're not using it, why not allow others to get benefit from it?
A co-op of a workspace, like a sharing workspace.
It'll just be through us, and part of our office in the back will be a large area where other places can come in.
That's cool. That's cool. Because I wasn't with you guys when I was talking about Drone Up Media, had their own space downtown, and they're kind of thinking about the same ideas, like to. You're thinking more of events and charitable reasons, but almost like a shared studio space where people can rent out a room, such as this one, at a discounted rate to help grow their content. Now, I know growing and changing up the content and marketing is something that you guys are putting more thought into as well, right?
Absolutely.
How's that for a segue?
That's a great segue. You've done this before. Gabriella's social media presence has skyrocketed from being casual about it to getting everyone to watch her say stuff and do stuff. And we're going to be putting more effort into that side to promote her specifically. And then for ourselves, we want to do lifestyle videos. We want to take after people like you who are doing an incredible job with media and just stay with the trend as closely as we can. And you've done a lot of work with the editing and
the editing. It's always fun. You know,
Yeah,
and
I
every
know.
listing, you're trying to change it up a little bit. You know, we don't have like a template sort of thing that what we do for every listing.
Yes.
Those are
We always
great.
try to mix it up, and we use free tools like Canva, but we also, you know, dabble in Photoshop and
Yeah.
that sort of thing too to really kind of pick up the graphics.
Yeah, well, I think that's important because it's another way of being creative and expressing yourself through your marketing and seeing the beginning stages, and seeing the way it develops into the final product. That's something that the sellers really love too. Because I've had sellers that actually get involved and they say, no, I want you guys to shoot it from this
Yeah,
angle.
yeah.
You have the light come over your shoulder, and then, you know, and it's actually pretty cool to kind of involve them with that. But that goes back to why you guys are here, right? Gabriella reached out on Instagram, I think, right? And it's the whole thing about building a network of, you know, relationships of other people in the business that can help out in some way, or maybe it's just you know, as easy as starting a conversation like Gabriella did, or you know, offering something of value. So I think spreading or building great relationships throughout the industry is because we're not competitors, right?
No,
we
not
all
at
got to
all.
work together. Okay, so we're in the tail end of the show where we like to plug the guests, and we've got 3. So we are going to spend a little extra time. Fred, what's your social media handles? How can they find you? How can they get involved? You know, as a client or as a relationship networker.
We'll start with Instagram and Facebook. At FredHelps, all one word, FredHelps. That'll be our team account for both. And then we have some individual accounts that we don't use as often as we do. That's the business side of thing. FredHelps.com is the website, but we tend to be doing more on the social media side of things lately. We still put up our listings and some background information. We do have a Shorby quick link spot that we're using in Instagram, and
that's beautiful.
Yeah, we switch up those links depending on what's going on. There, okay, that's the one plug that I'll do. The voting for 2019 Milton's Favorites is happening right now. So all of it's not only in real estate, it's across all industries.
Yeah.
So your favorite restaurant, your favorite burger, your favorite dentist in town. Each year we've been lucky to win that award. It's either favorite real estate office, which we have won last year, so #1 across all names and brands. Favorite individual real estate agent I've been lucky to get, and my favorite is the favorite home staging that we've won.
Oh, cool.
And these are community awards, so when you win, that means you're somewhere in the top 3.
Yep.
Okay, everyone can say they won that way. I've been lucky to say we've been doing this for 5 years now, going on for 6 this year too. And those awards are better than all the sales awards. Because they're not production-based. It's when you work with people and they actually still like you at the end of it. They'll support you and vote for you in these things. So these are the kind of awards that we like the most.
Okay. All right. I like the simplicity of that, and I like how you can change the link stuff.
Yeah, Shorby's great.
It's just easy for people to make the connection. You want to come back on and explain how we can find you as well? Sure. Just talk into Fred's mic there.
There you
Hold
go.
it up for you.
There you go.
Hello. So the biggest one for me will definitely be Instagram. You can find it. It's at G Fazzolari Real Estate. So it's F like Frank, AZZ, OLARI Real Estate. G Fazzolari Real Estate. That's
Put the link in the description.
yeah, you might want to put the link.
If you can't find her, go to FredHelps, and every second post or mention is going to be her anyway.
Or
so, yeah.
at FredHelps, and you'll find me in there too.
Oh, there's my little nephew. And there's a GQ shot that these guys made me do.
Yeah, I love the GQ.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
can't
look,
look
I
at
see a picture of us too, and we had lunch. We were doing the pizza review.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
That
good
was a
lunch.
good time.
And there's Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
there's
There
Janet.
she is, right in the middle. Sure. Thank you.
What about yourself? Anything? Just
I'm on
funnel it.
Facebook. It's easy to find. I'm also connected to the Fred Helps account. So
Perfectly.
I'm the only Tate there. So once you find it, it's real estate with the TAIT.
Nice.
Clever. See, do they have the Milton's best slogan?
No, we got to start that category.
There you
That's
go.
a good idea.
Maybe that's something we can work on when we get back.
Well, there
Nice.
you go. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the Daily Reel. Thank you very much. We'll put all the links in the description so you can go get in contact with the Fred Helps team. Thank you very much. We will see you next week.